Where's my safe? It was in the bathroom, and now it's gone. I need to call the police. Wait, hold on. My husband quickly calmed me down. Relax, I took the safe. What? Why? That was my savings. What did you do with my $300,000? He just shook his head. Your money is my money. I bought a house, for me and my mom. Are you serious? I was going to tell you, but since you found out, I'm telling you now. Divorce me? Go ahead. I already have your money, so I don't need you anymore. I was too shocked to argue. Fine, enjoy your new life with your mom. Wow, you're taking this well. Bye. He left, looking happy. Strangely, I felt relieved. The money in that safe wasn't just for savings. I had planned to ruin his life with it anyway. He just saved me the trouble. Good luck with that. Nice life, Michael. My name is Sandra. I'm 35, a housewife. I lived with my husband, Michael, and our daughter, Lydia, in the suburbs. Michael and I met 10 years ago through a coworker. He was polite, calm, and seemed like a great guy. We started as friends, then dated, and after 5 years, we talked about marriage. We both wanted kids, so it made sense. We got married, and a year later, we had Lydia. Watching her grow was amazing. Her first steps, her first words, then preschool. Life was mostly good, though, of course, there were ups and downs. But one thing really annoyed me. Michael's mom, Anita. She lived nearby, alone after her husband passed away. She was heartbroken at first, but over time, she started going out again, smiling more. I was happy for her. But then, she started overstepping. She had a spare key to our house and would let herself in while we were out. She cooked, rearranged furniture, even gave advice on when to have another baby or buy a house. Hi, Sandra, I made dinner and did the laundry. Oh, thanks, Anita, but you don't have to. We can manage. Oh, it's no trouble. We're family. I could even redecorate your bedroom. I knew she meant well, but it was overwhelming. I didn't want to offend her, but it felt like she didn't respect our space. My friends didn't see a problem, which made me feel like I was overreacting. I talked to Michael, but it was useless. She's just helping. Why complain? It's less work for you. I just wish she'd ask first. So, what? You want me to tell her she's not welcome? That she shouldn't come over? Every time I brought it up, he got defensive. He was usually calm, except when it came to his mom. I understood that he wanted to protect her, especially after losing his dad, but I still felt uncomfortable. One weekend, I woke up at 9 a.m. and went to the kitchen to make coffee. As I poured the water, I realized I had left my phone in the bedroom. I went back to get it. Michael and Lydia were still asleep, so I opened the door quietly. As expected, they were out cold. I tiptoed to the bedside table to grab my phone. That's when I noticed something strange. The walk-in closet door was slightly open. That's weird. I was sure it was closed last night. Did Michael open it? I walked over to shut it, but something felt off. A bad feeling crept up my spine. I pulled the door open wider. No way. My safe was gone. I completely forgot about being quiet and screamed. What do I do? Who could have seen this coming? Panic hit me, and for a moment, I couldn't think straight. Then, I snapped out of it. I need to call the police. I was about to dial when Michael groaned and finally woke up. Ugh, what's with all the noise? You're gonna wake Lydia. Michael, my safe is gone. I'm calling the police. I looked at my phone, ready to call, but Michael quickly stopped me. Wait, don't be so dramatic. Dramatic? My safe disappeared. This is serious. Michael hesitated. I glared at him. Do you have something to say? If not, I'm calling. Silence. Then, finally, he spoke. I took it, and your cash card too. I froze, my body locked up in shock. When I finally snapped out of it, I checked my wallet. My cash card was gone. I turned to Michael. He looked relieved, like he had no worries at all. That made me even angrier. Why did you take it without asking? That was my savings. What the hell did you spend $300,000 on? Michael shook his head like I was the one being unreasonable. Your money is my money. I bought a house, found a good-sized place in the countryside for $300K. What? The countryside? What about your job? My job? And Lydia, she'll have to change schools. I was yelling now, but I didn't care. Michael frowned, irritated, then he hit me with something even worse. I bought the house for my mom and me, just the two of us. Since you're always complaining about her, I'm done letting you disrespect her. I snapped. Do you even hear yourself, you idiot? Michael scowled. I don't need a broke wife. I'll take custody of Lydia, just sign the divorce papers, okay? I was so shocked by Michael's smug attitude that I couldn't even argue anymore. Then Lydia, startled by all the shouting, woke up. I picked her up from the bed. Michael had chosen his mother over his own daughter. There was no point in arguing anymore. Fine, let's get a divorce. Have a nice life with your mother. Michael grinned. Great, you're being reasonable. Wait here, I'll get the papers. To my surprise, he already had them prepared. He left the bedroom and came back quickly, shoving the papers in my face. His signature was already there. You can submit them. I'm going back to my mom's. He started packing. I watched him for a while, but all I saw was a stranger. He wasn't the man I once loved. Mommy, I'm hungry. Lydia had no idea what was happening. Her innocent voice snapped me out of my thoughts. Let's go have breakfast, sweetie. I walked out of the bedroom, holding her close. A few days later, Lydia and I were home together. I had taken some time off work. Since I was going through a divorce, I needed to sort out legal matters with my company. When I told my boss a little about my situation, he was understanding and let me take some paid leave. I really appreciated it. I explained the divorce to Lydia. She didn't fully understand, but I tried my best. Daddy likes Granny more than me? She asked. Then, she stopped talking about him. That broke my heart. I had to protect her. I would never let her feel abandoned. Mommy, your phone is ringing. I had been so lost in thought that I didn't even hear it. Thanks, honey, go play while I take this call. I picked up my phone. It was Michael. I had expected him to call sooner or later. Yes? The moment I answered, he exploded. What the hell? What's in that safe? Explain, now. His voice was a mix of yelling and crying. I smirked. As you can hear, it's proof that you and your mother stole my money. I know everything. She talked you into it, right? But you're still responsible for going along with it. Anita was the mastermind. Michael was just her pawn. I had known for a while that she had her eye on my safe. One day, when she thought I wasn't home, she let herself in. I watched as she walked straight to the bedroom. That made me suspicious. I followed quietly and saw her disappear into the walk-in closet. A few moments later, she left in a hurry. When I checked, I found scratches on the safe, like someone had tried to open it. 2 days later, my safe disappeared. I remembered everything when Michael and I fought. Michael's voice trembled. But, when did you record this? You weren't even there when we talked. I chuckled. Oh, you really didn't know? I was right there. That's why there's a recording. The day after Michael gave me the divorce papers, I went to Anita's house. I knew I couldn't stop the divorce or get my money back, but I wasn't going to let her get away with it so easily. Since I had a spare key, I decided to let myself in and scare her a little. It was nothing compared to what she had done, but it would make me feel better. The moment I stepped inside, I heard her and Michael talking. They were bragging about their new house. Without hesitation, I pulled out my phone and hit record. Then Anita started laughing, so proud of herself for stealing my money. That was when I realized she had planned everything. I was so furious I almost stormed in, but instead, I stayed quiet and kept recording. When their conversation ended, I went home, saved the recording onto a USB, and then I went back to Anita's house. You see, Michael, I left the USB in the safe. Are you choking yet? Silence. Michael was too stunned to respond. Then, I heard another voice take over. What do you even want from this? The money is already spent, so there's no point. Stop blackmailing us. Anita was hysterical. She wasn't wrong, the money was gone. When I checked the safe, only a few $100s remained. I smirked. You're mistaken. There is a point. You bought the house through an agency where Michael's friend works, right? Well, guess what? That agent is actually my friend, too. I knew him before I even introduced him to Michael. Now, what do you think would happen if he heard this recording? Maybe he'd report it to the police. Maybe he'd cancel the purchase and return the money. If that happens, you'll have to pay a hefty breach of contract penalty and cancellation fees. The truth? The agent was my friend, but the rest was a bluff. Still, the effect on Anita was immediate. Her voice trembled. No way. This is your fault for hoarding money. I spent it for you. What are we supposed to do if we can't live in our new house? You better fix this. She was spiraling, spitting out incoherent threats. I sighed. Not my problem. Do what you want. I pushed her nonsense aside and hung up, ignoring her desperate screams. For the first time in a long while, I felt lighter. After that call, I reached out to my friend at the real estate agency. When I explained the situation, he was outraged on my behalf and, miraculously, managed to return my money. I had held on to a small hope, but I hadn't really expected it. Consider it a favor for an old friend, he said, then added, besides, I can't stand cheaters. Either way, I was elated. As for Michael and Anita? Turns out, the house they purchased was non-cancelable. However long it takes, I'll make sure they repay every cent, my friend assured me. They ended up working like slaves to pay off the loan. To make things worse, Michael had already quit his job to move to the countryside. There was no work that paid as well as his old position, so he was forced to take multiple exhausting jobs just to scrape by. Karma. With my money back, I bought a brand new apartment and moved in with Lydia and my parents. They offered to support me in the absence of a husband. As I stroked Lydia's hair while she slept with her head on my lap, I made a silent vow. I would do whatever it took to raise her to be an honest, kind person. Not like Michael. Not like Anita. She deserved a full, happy life, one I would give her, no matter what.